Thank you for your presentation. It was excellent. And in fact, my question follows very much on the question that was just asked. 3/4 of my question was contained there. I heard Max Weber being discussed without being named, right? The notion that that's what leads to, Calvinism leads to the triumph of English capitalism, that sort of thing, and that's why some intellectuals are drawn to it. One of the striking things in the numbers game is that while we may not know how many Christians there are in China, we do know how many Communist Party members there are.
Yes.
And there are about 70 million of those. And so by your reckoning, there are already more Christians. And of course, there's some double counting there.
Right.
And that is striking. But my question follows very much along these lines. And what is it about the house churches that separates them? Is it only the nature of official sanction and a different message from the pulpit? Or are there other activities, other support systems that the house churches deliver that are not available from the official churches? Because, of course, in the West, we associate Christian movements not simply with what happens for an hour on Sunday,
right,
but the community that arises around it. And I was wondering if you could address that question. How are those communities somehow, house church communities, somehow different from whatever arises elsewhere?
Well, first of all, the house church movements, the different house churches, don't have any political directives or any limitations on what they teach or preach. Now, that may lead, and has led in some cases, to crazy heresies. And house churches are as frightened of the heresies as the three self-patriotic churches are. But heresies actually don't last very long in a situation where there are healthy, independent, regular churches, because they kind of shout them down eventually. But I think that, for example, things like evangelism, it is illegal in China to explain what the Christian message is to another person unless you are in a church. You're not allowed to do it. It's illegal. And the house churches clearly take the risk of having communities where people are invited, made to feel welcome, told what the Christian gospel is, and not given any restraints on it, or don't exhibit any restraints in explaining it. And this is very attractive. I mean, I don't think most people in most countries, and I think this is true of China, are drawn to new movements that are very specifically under government control, any government control. And I think they are attracted to movements that seem to express freedom in the general human context.